You're watching Adorama TV.
Welcome to Adorama TV. Well, today we're going to take another look at an application for the iPad. This time the application is called Moodboard. And when I started playing with this application, I think I spent 2 or 3 hours just having a blast playing with it. So let's take a look at Moodboard. Moodboard is an application that allows you to organize your ideas and inspirations. And so it's divided by boards and collections. So you put boards in different collections. So if I go to Adorama TV, you'll see I have a board that I just created to figure out this application. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new board by hitting the plus button, and then I need to add a board name. So what we're going to do this is call this Mark's Tour. Now this isn't a real tour, so this is if I was going to do a tour. So I'll save that. Now once I do that, here's Mark's Tour. I can push this button here, I just tap on the board, and I get a blank board. So the board right now is a cork board, and I can go in here to settings and I can choose any kind of background. And I could have done this actually when I set this up, so I could make it denim or I could make it a burlap bag, but I sort of like the cork board, so we'll keep it that. Now once I have this, I can go in and start adding things to the board. So I'm going to actually go in here and add some text. So I'm going to put this here, I'm going to say Mark's Workshop. Okay, so this is my fake workshop that I'm doing. And so let's say that I'm doing a workshop and I need to show some people exactly what I want to do at the workshop and what we'll get out of it. So that's done. I'll say done. Now what I can do is anything on the board, I can actually drag it around. So I'll drag this up here to the top. I don't like that font, so I can double tap on that. I can change this to something a little chunkier. I really like that. So there it is. Now the cool thing is I can actually rotate this. I can make it larger or smaller and put it exactly where I want it. So there it is, Mark's Workshop. Now what I can do is I can add some photos to this board, and this is where the application really starts to come to life. I can do this in one of 2 ways. I can push this, and this goes into my photo album. So let's say at my workshop, I'm going to promise you that we will show you how to take this really cool headshot of this girl with flowers all around her. So I can shrink that and put this up here like that. Now I really want to put a border around that, so I double tap on that. And I can push this right here, and this gives me a bunch of different borders. So I like this black border there. I can change the size of the image by moving this slider here. And if I want to, I can actually crop the image by touching my crop button. And I like it like that, and I'll say crop. It takes the whole border and everything along with it. I'll say done. Now just like the text, we can rotate this, resize it. We can move it all around. So I'll make this a little bit crooked right there. So Mark's Workshop. Now what I want to do is I want to take some pictures of an actual workshop that I did last year in Nashville. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open Safari by pushing this button right here. And Google starts, and this would be usually the last page that you were at. So Google is where we wanted to start. So I'm going to type my name here. So I'm going to Google myself. So I'm going to type Mark Wallace Photography. And there it is. Google gives me a little help. And now I'm going to go to my images. And I think when I was on the Pocket Wizard tour, yes, so I have some images of me giving a workshop in, I think this is Nashville, on the Pocket Wizard page. So I can go down here. What I can do is I can say, okay, this is basically what the workshop's going to look like. I can push this crop button here, and now I can choose the area of the web page that I want to include in my board. So this could be text, this could be images, this could be anything, but I want this image right here. So I'll say crop and save, and there it is. There is my picture. So you can see how you could really easily take some images from the web and add them to a board for inspiration. Now I really like that. I'm going to add one more really quickly. It'll take me right back to the page that I was just at. I'm going to scroll down here. And I think there was a page here. Yeah. This is in David Bean's studio actually. I really loved his studio. So we're going to take this. I'm going to steal some colors from this in a little bit, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to crop and save that. Okay, so now we have some images of what it's going to look like at the workshop. Now let's say I want to take some colors and create a color palette to help the models or help the wardrobe designer or set designer know the color palette to use. Well, I can do that by hitting this star. I can click this color palette icon, and now I get a color square here. Now this color square is used to save color, so I could go here to this color wheel. I can choose different colors. I can choose the saturation. I can go to my red, green, and blue sliders to mix color. And if I'm a web geek, I can actually type in hexadecimal numbers here. So I know, for example, that white is a bunch of Fs, so 6 Fs. So I type that in, there's white. Or I can say, nope, I want this to be red. Now, what if I didn't know exactly what the color was? I can hit this magnifying glass, and let's say I really want to match this red off of these flowers here. You can see the outside of this glass becomes the color that it's on. So if I want the red, I'll say that's good, choose that, and now my square becomes red. Now I want to add a palette to that, so I'll click plus. Now I know this red was up here in the color wheel, so I'm going to do a split complementary color. I can come down here and say, okay, this is sort of a complementary color to that. I like that, and I'm going to do a split complementary, so I'm going to go over here down to the blues. I have that. Now if I want to say, I'm going to get another color that's sort of a flesh tone here, I like that, I can choose that. And you can see that you can really quickly create a color palette. I'm going to get a really strong blue. So now that I'm done, I have my color palette. So designers will love this. So I can put that anywhere I want. I can drag this around. And I've also got some other icons that I can use here. So I can add like an arrow and say, you know, this is where you're going to be sitting because we don't have any chairs. I could add some text to that. I can go in here and put some pins and pin something down. Now at any time if I want to edit something, you just double tap on it, and then you can do some things like putting a border on it. Or if, let's say, in 3 weeks you don't remember where you got this image, I can click the link. It'll tell me exactly where I got the image. If I click this, it'll take me right back to the page where this came from. So it's a great place to store ideas and keep things all in perspective. Now once this is done, I can take this and I can share it with the world. So what I can do is go down here to this icon. I can save this to my iPad. I can email it to somebody. If I click that, an email dialog comes up. There's my fake workshop. Or I can click on the Twitter icon or Facebook, and I can share that with Twitter or Facebook. It's all integrated. So really quickly, I can create a board that stores all of my ideas, something that I can share with the world, and it's really a lot of fun. Well, we didn't have enough time to show you everything you can do with Moodboard, but you could easily imagine how you could use it to plan out a photo shoot, or once you're done with the photo shoot, take those images and send them to a client or something so they could see sort of how everything fits together. It's a really fun application. Well, if you have an application you'd like me to take a look at, you can send those ideas to askmark@adorama.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.